It's 1986, and in the 11 years since Roger and Gene first landed on TV screens all over the country, the movie industry has definitely changed. Summer is now a massive blockbuster dumping ground with the biggest movies in box office history: the Star Wars trilogy, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Back to the Future, Top Gun, you name it, have devoured box office records of the past, and the industry is booming on the rise of home entertainment such as video cassettes and laserdiscs. Which is funny because there was a belief back then that they were going to be the death of the film industry, and it was anything but that.
I'm in deep trouble, folks. They've started the video revolution without me. Now I got to play catch up. Here I am, 750 hard-earned bucks clutched firmly in my tight little paw. I'm at a neighborhood video stores, typical of the ones that are cropping up all over the country. And in 3 minutes, you and I are going to get an education. Now this is a video tape recorder, or VTR. Actually, sometimes they're called video cassette recorders, or VCRs, but don't let that throw you. There's lots more confusing stuff coming up. Tapes come in two formats, Beta and VHS. Beta, as you can see, is smaller and supposedly more sophisticated. VHS, on the other hand, is larger, and its fans claim it's more reliable. The only thing we can tell you is that you can't play a Beta tape in a VHS machine, and vice versa. But if your primary interest is in recording things off the air, then a tape machine is what you're going to have to buy. And it's going to cost you. My 750 bucks won't bring back much change if I go for a tape machine, especially if I go for one of the fancy models that records for 2 weeks while I'm on vacation.
1986 also saw a significant change in how people were able to see Gene and Roger each weekend, as Tribune Entertainment severed ties with the two and allowed them to move their show over to another corporation, this time with the Walt Disney Company. The Disney organization was in an interesting place at that time. The company had been in decline for years now as their film output wasn't delivering, and most of their income was coming from their merchandising and theme parks all over the world. At the time, Disney had just come under the care of Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg, who helped to revitalize the studio to its glory days in the film world, while also seeing the growth of its television industry, which was already in full swing by '86. A year before, Disney launched its first made-for-TV animated series in The Gummy Bears and found great success in primetime with The Golden Girls on NBC, winning 2 Emmys for Outstanding Comedy Series in its first 2 seasons. And having 2 well-known and respected film critics in Siskel and Ebert as part of the Disney family seemed like the next logical step to go. Thus, on September 13, 1986, Siskel and Ebert and the Movies premiered on syndicated stations all over the country. Not much really changed compared to the other shows, just a more vibrant and glossier balcony where you got to see more of the set than you did during the PBS and Tribune years. By 1987, the "and the Movies" was taken out of the title, and thus the show was simply known as Siskel and Ebert from that point forward. Much like the other shows, the host reviewed a number of recently released and soon-to-be-released movies per episode, taking turns providing a narrative critique interspersed with studio-supplied clips, moving into a back-and-forth debate over the merits. Siskel and Ebert were especially known for sharp criticism that veered close to personally attacking each other, although they insisted this was largely a television act rather than a feud. The show would also recommend films coming on the home video market, including later on down the road comments on DVD special features. Reviews for the week's show were usually posted on the website atthemoviestv.com, usually on the Tuesday following the show's airing. The site's archives had reviews as far back as the latter half of the 1980s, however, only the reviews for theatrical movies got posted on the website. The weekly DVD feature and 3 to See, later used in the Ebert and Roper years, were not included on this particular website. And it was during this run, especially during the early years, where Roger and Gene's love for the movies really showed to the point where, if one of them disagreed with the other's opinion, they were not afraid to let the other know how much he despised the other's opinion.
This is bathroom humor, Gene.
And it's very funny.
Humor.
It's very funny
it's
bathroom
not
humor.
that. If you think it's funny,
Yes,
then
I
maybe
do.
you need to grow up along with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Roger,
you can
that's
both
right.
go to Richard
That's
Pryor
right.
and learn how to be a little more mature.
No, let me tell you, it is very, very funny. Oddly, people who haven't seen this film are going to agree, gee, Roger's right, it should be clean, it should be clean.
No, I
you
didn't
really
say
played
it
to
should
the
be
audience.
clean. I'm not playing to the audience, and I'm not saying it should be clean. I have nothing against four-letter language.
Right.
I love it when Richard Pryor uses it. Richard Pryor uses it as poetry. Eddie Murphy uses it as a bludgeon.
She comes to that camp naive, and she grows up at the end of the film.
And that's
I
the
like
cliche, Gene. That's a cliche.
Not the way she plays it.
For it.
Not the way she plays it.
It's just all by the numbers.
Not the way she plays it.
All by the numbers. The dancing is good. The plot.
She's good. Tell me she's not good.
She's okay.
I think more than okay.
What about the humor in this movie? What about the humor in it? What about the wonderful dialogue and the nice little plays on words and the way
What about the excessive fighting? What about the excessive fighting?
Excessive fighting. This is the world that they're talking about here. Nevertheless.
Reconsider your vote, please.
I won't reconsider my vote. Nevertheless, I felt it just on the bottom line, it was worth recommending.
Oh, that's because you're just saying apes and a woman are there and they look pretty. That's what you're saying.
I think I would have found a more elegant way to phrase it, but nevertheless.
This is not a simple mad slasher
then
movie.
why is it a comedy?
Because he wants to set you up. He's a director, and he wants to play you like all the directors, the great directors want to do. He wants to play you like a piano, which is have you smile and then swing you right into some depression.
Yeah, well, the next
I think
somebody wants to play me like a piano, he better get some music that's worth listening to.
Did you like the movie or not?
No.
But you like what both of the leads did in their...
talented guys. Give them a screenplay.
I think they got one. Film with little... I don't know what's wrong with you. You're really in the holiday season this year. You're giving out gift reviews. So if a friend asks me to see it, I'd say see it, but be prepared to be disappointed.
I'd tell a friend... Okay, that's great. Okay, then I would agree with that. See it, but be prepared to be disappointed.
At the end.
If you can leave after an hour and 20 minutes, you'll think you walked out of a great movie.
One episode in particular in the summer of 1987 would be the catalyst of this, when on that episode, Gene and Roger reviews movies such as Full Metal Jacket, Spaceballs, and Benji the Hunted.
We expect an original masterpiece from Stanley Kubrick every time out, and this time I'm afraid it's not a bad movie, but it's not original and it's not a masterpiece.
Oh, I think it's very original and very close to being a masterpiece. I mean, first of all, I think that the stuff that we see, the training sequences, are absolutely startling. Even though this is familiar material, I think that image that we got of that guy is explosive, and I'll never forget it. Second, the fighting here is a different kind of fighting than in Platoon. It's city fighting, and it looks different, and it's a whole different war, and he's playing this film, I think, at a whole nother level. Platoon was about embracing the soldier and giving the soldier credit for this crazy world that he was in. This fighting, to me, is about the mixture of joy in fighting and the absolute fear of being killed, in the sense of when there's this guy called Animal who charges, I was so excited for him. And it's the guy I'm supposed to hate. And then when I see a sniper go on an American and Kubrick has his camera push in, I feel for the first time people getting attacked. I think visually this is the strongest movie I've seen in a long time.
First of all, I didn't think it was that visually exciting except for a few specific shots that were really great. But secondly, let's talk about that very sequence you're talking about. One of the guy's friends is wounded and he's out there under fire, and the other one says, I'm going to go get him, and he runs out blasting with his machine gun to try to rescue him. Then later, the others come up behind, and we can clearly see where the sniper is. Then when you get to that reverse shot and he pushes in, that is a cliche, Gene. I mean, when I saw that push, I was so disappointed in Kubrick. This whole sequence is taken right out of absolutely routine grade B Republic World War II war movies of guys running out there to try to save their buddy and somebody else shooting at them.
I have never felt a kill in a movie quite like that, ever, in any Vietnam film.
Not in Apocalypse Now, not in The Deer Hunter?
Not like that. Not like that.
Well, then in that case, you're going to love The Late Show, because they have kills like that every night in black and white, starring John Wayne, starting about midnight.
But they don't have movies like this film, Full Metal Jacket.
I disagree, and I disagree particularly about the part that you like.
Well, that's just one scene. I like the whole film. It's full of great scenes.
Gene gave a glowing review of Full Metal Jacket, but Roger's thumb was down, and later on in that episode, they would review Benji the Hunted, and when Roger gave that film a thumbs up, Gene was not happy, and the rest was TV history.
And Benji the movie, Benji the Hunted, exhausted me. This is the first time I wanted to tell a dog to slow down and stop to smell the flowers. I can't recommend Benji the Hunted.
Well, there is a little suspense in the movie. Like, for example, will Benji be able to protect those cougar cubs until they get big enough to eat him? But I don't know, Gene. Your review is the typical sort of blasé, sophisticated, cynical review.
I'll take the word sophisticated.
I would expect from an adult. This movie is not for adults. This movie is for children. I can remember what it was like to be 6 years old, 8 years old, to see a movie that's 90 minutes long, only has about 100 words of dialogue. It's about a dog in the wilderness, beautiful photography, those cute little cougar cubs, which you mentioned, the magnificence of the other animals, the adventures, the little kittens crossing the stream, the very shot you pointed out. This movie is a movie that kids would really enjoy.
No, you know what they should say? Roger, my rebuttal of this film is you're wrapping yourself in the flag of children, and I'm saying go see the Black Stallion instead. There's a film with little dialogue, so much better.
I'm not wrapping myself in the flag of children. You're wrapping yourself in the flag of the sophisticated film critic who's seen it all.
No, boredom with Benji running.
I don't think that any child is going to be bored by this movie, and indeed, I found the nature photography to be very interesting myself.
I recommend film for kids that are good. The Black Stallion is a great film. This is garbage.
I recommend films for kids that are bad, but I'll tell you what, whether it's good or bad, I think kids will really enjoy it.
Episodes like this made Siskel and Ebert must-see TV. It wasn't even like Roger was praising Benji the Hunted as this cinematic masterpiece, but the fact that Gene was so mad that he didn't give Full Metal Jacket a thumbs up, but then gave Benji a thumbs up, that's what set him off big time. And when they disagreed, especially during those first Disney years, that's when the show was at its most entertaining. In addition to those episodes dedicated to special topics that were on the other versions of the show, there would be special hour-long episodes that would air alongside the week's newest episodes, such as the annual Holiday Video Gift Guide from 1987 to 1993.
The popularity of Nintendo systems has made its business so big that toy and department stores apparently aren't big enough to handle the demand. A new franchise system called Captron World of Nintendo is breaking out in shopping malls across the country. And at one of those Nintendo outposts, Gene and I met young experts who were willing to teach us the games, or at least to try. Of course, I'll do anything to win as we prepare to play Tecmo Bowl, a full-fledged football contest.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
I couldn't see it.
You got 5 yards at 2nd and 5.
But did you know?
No, I didn't know what was happening.
I don't know what I did. See, I like him saying hut, hut, hut. I like the fact that I can make a football player.
I'm concentrating. I don't care what strategies you use to distract me. I think, oh, that's nice.
You lost 4 yards.
You lost 4 yards. You have the ball, Ignat.
Smeared.
Okay, excellent.
All right, fabulous. Touchdown.
Now, I'm willing to concede that you beat me.
What do you mean concede? I beat you.
What I will not concede is that you knew what you were doing when you beat me.
I knew exactly what I was doing, and I kicked the extra point and made it 7-0.
Not at all. You were pushing.
What do you mean not at all?
Almost at random.
I kicked the extra point, 7-0. You lost.
You understand how to play that game.
Exactly. And you know what?
These
I understand, and I understand it so well. I'll never play again.
The show's 500th episode in 1989 to celebrate 500 episodes Gene and Roger had done, which was their first time in front of a live studio audience being shot at the newly opened Disney MGM studios.
Good evening. It's our 500th show, so we've left our balcony and we're appearing in front of a live audience for the very first time.
You know, the tables are really turned with this live audience. There seems to be something almost unnatural about critics being up on a stage. I mean, what if they don't like us? I think we ought to start right out here and break the ice and make sure everybody feels right at home and in any confusion that might be in your minds. Now, how many people here think that my name is Gene Siskel? Thank you. And how many think that my name is Roger Ebert? Very smart man right over here. Actually, it happens all the time. People think I'm Gene Siskel. On my way over here, somebody said, "You're Gene Siskel, aren't you?" And I said, "No, I'm Roger Ebert." And they said, "Oh, yeah, you're the other guy." And I said, "No, he's the other guy."
And the annual If We Pick the Winner show for the Oscars, which was something that dates back to the PBS and Tribune days, where those were the only hour-long shows they did back then. There were also special hour-long episodes talking about the future of the movies, where in 1990, Gene and Roger sat down with George Lucas, Martin Scorsese, and Steven Spielberg about where they believed the future of films was going and what their futures hold as well.
We first wanted to know from each of these directors what their immediate future would be like in the 1990s. You're going to get this question till you drop. The E.T. sequel. Mm-hmm. In the 90s?
No. Go further.
2010?
No.
2020?
No.
And just so people understand, when you say no, you're saying no to probably hundreds of millions of dollars. You know that.
Yeah. It ended.
It's been about 7 years since the last Star Wars movie. Yeah. 83, was it?
Yeah, 83.
Yeah. I understand that you're finally going to go back into that universe.
Yeah, I've been, obviously I have these stories, and I've been trying to figure out a time when I'm going to devote, a serious amount of time to bringing these next 3 stories to the screen.
In terms of genres and your future, what haven't you done that is on your checklist?
Romance.
Well, an unhappy romance, but it's a romance. So.
Another special focused on the new wave of black filmmakers in 1992 was Spike Lee and John Singleton among the names featured.
Can you remember the first black character that you really noticed in a film?
It's probably Sidney Poitier in Lilies of the Field. And I was furious. I must have been like 7, 8 years old, but I was like, man, lady for them nuts. Fix your car and leave. That was me. I wouldn't have stayed there the whole movie messing with these nuns. When I was coming up, people I really looked up to were primarily Francis Coppola, George Lucas, and Steven Spielberg. That's because I grew up in a kind of like pop culture kind of thing. Media, films for me were entertainment. What happened for me was I got up in early high school, and my mother was like, why don't you go to this theater over here? You know, it shows a lot of different old films, you know. So I go to the theater, and I went to see Annie Hall and Banana.
CBS even took time out of their primetime schedule for the Siskel and Ebert special between 1990 and 1995. Talking to some of Hollywood's hottest directors and stars about the status of the movie industry, with topics ranging from happy endings in movies to the rise of certain actors such as Tom Hanks, among other things.
And to start with, how come when I go to the movies these days, I somehow know how they're going to turn out? They almost always have happy endings. Well, Hollywood films right now send a very clear message. The couple kisses. The cops, partners, smile at each other. Freeze frame. That's American movies today, right?
That's terrible. I get to knock off Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. It's like just a rare thing.
Why is it so rare?
I got a feeling it's got to do with people who put up the money for the movies, who are afraid that, you know, even though you're telling a good story, and you made a really good movie, interesting themes and whatnot, and characters and whatever, when people walk out of the theater, they have to feel a certain way.
What way?
And that is a very up and positive, not reflective, kind of like, tomorrow we should call Susie and Tom and tell them, be sure they should go see this movie, because we feel so good at the end of this picture. I don't know, this is what they must be thinking.
You laugh at that.
I laugh at that, yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's ludicrous. It's ridiculous to think that, you know, that's the only way people are going to recommend a movie, if they see a happy ending.
Your first real box office breakthrough was Splash.
Yes, indeed.
And that kind of set a character for you that you then played for a while in various ways.
That kind of secondary character, that kind of the kind of guy who shouldn't be the lead, but yet, I'm quoting your review of the movie.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I thought about that movie.
Now, you must understand that we all know who, you know, Siskel and Ebert are. To be an actor in a motion picture, knowing that Siskel and Ebert are going to be reviewing your movie. And I'm in a movie now, the first movie I've ever been, that is being celebrated on, you know, it's doing very well, and it got great reviews, and it's better than you could ever possibly bet. And here they come, and okay, he doesn't like it, and he doesn't like it, okay. All I'm saying is, Roger, it stung. That's all I'm saying. It stung.
You've got 2 Oscars, you've made 18.
I did okay to spite you, Roger. Sometimes it's very worthy to get that, it's always very worthy to get that other opinion. You know what? You take a shot.
Yeah.
You take a shot, you swing away. It's like, if you're lucky, it's like baseball. You know, we do this every day. And sometimes you do well, and sometimes you don't. You're talking to the luckiest man in America, because I still get to play.
The duo continued to make regular appearances in late-night TV circuits, appearing on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Jay Leno, later with Bob Costas, continuous appearances on David Letterman's late night and late night shows and Late Show.
As a real old-fashioned touch, from time to time, real live celebrities will pelt our studio audience with snowballs. Boys, take it away. Get ready for real holiday fun. Here we go.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien, with Roger making solo appearances on Conan O'Brien as well as on Tom Snyder's Late Late Show as well.
Just off the bat, before we get into the book, you know, I work closely with Andy, and Andy and I both have this experience. I was wondering if you had the same one, where when one of us is walking around on our own, so, you know, if I'm walking around, someone will be like, hey, where's Andy? And if Andy's walking around, someone will say, where's Conan?
One of your guys backstage, where's your partner, you know?
Yeah.
Or even worse, where's Ebert? That really gets me. Oh, I'm Ebert. Oh, yeah, you're the other guy. No, he's the other guy.
Parodies would also continue on various shows and movies such as The Simpsons.
Our next movie is McBain. Another shoot 'em up, push him through the plate glass window, splatterfest from the Hollywood cookie cutter. Here's a typically brainless scene.
Senator Mendoza is one of the most respected citizens in this state, McBain. And yet you ran his limo off a cliff, broke the necks of 3 of his bodyguards, and drove a bus to his front door?
But, Captain, I have proof that he's head of an international drug cartel.
I don't want to hear it, McBain. You're out of here.
That makes 2 of us.
All right, McBain!
That makes 2 of us.
You know, I can't believe we're talking about the same movie. I thought McBain was a non-stop roller coaster of chills, thrills, spills, and kills. And that chase at the end, my friend? Mwah!
Are you nuts? That movie stinks like your creepy one-bedroom apartment.
Your mother didn't think it was so creepy.
My mother, real mature. I'm sick of your grade school
I love
insults.
watching a bald guy argue with a fat tub of lard.
And Animaniacs.
So, to the collection of Warner cartoons, we both give an enthusiastic toes up.
But to the cartoons of Slappy Squirrel, we both give a big smelly toes down.
But the most well-known parody of these two would play a significant part of Siskel and Ebert's legacy, and that was on a show made by those same people who gave us The Simpsons. And that was, of course, The Critic.
Excuse me, sir, the show's over.
Get away, zitface.